Hey, what's up, guys? Mark Conley back with Daily Soccer Skills, and today I'm going to talk about something that is near and dear to myself and then anybody else who's ever played striker or forward in their entire life, and that is, what do you do when you're in a drought, a goal drought? And this is like, if you're a goal scorer, this is like the loneliest place to ever be. It's like if you're batting fourth in baseball and you can't get on base, you can't seem to you just have strikeout after strikeout. When you're the goal scorer, like everything the team does, because obviously the focus of the game is to put the ball in the back of the net. So while the responsibility isn't solely on your shoulders, as a goal scorer, you often do take that responsibility. It's like, and you take it personally. If a team's not getting goals, and the coach is saying things like, "We need to score more goals," what he's really saying is, number 9, number 10, you guys got to start getting it done. But as a coach, you also don't want to draw attention to that for a player, because it's very much a mental thing. And so I'll share a couple stories with you, and then tell you how I would help you get out of that. Just understand first and foremost that the difference between being pistol hot and scoring a ton of goals and feeling like you can't hit the broadside of a barn, it all resides right here. Okay, you're still the same player, you still have the same skill sets. It's very much a mental and a confidence thing. And so you have to just kind of take a step back and realize, okay, I'm going to score goals again. I mean, it's flat going to happen. But I'm a little bit down right now. I'm on a little bit of a drought. And so how do we fix that? And what has always helped me is to help players just get back to basics, to do the basic things like make well-timed runs, know when to check in, have good first touches that are, in a positive area where they can get a good clean strike off on goal. Kind of scan the box and look for little danger areas to position themselves, because 99% of the time, the people that are scoring the goals, I mean, yes, it takes skill, but if you can get yourself in the right spot, you can score a lot of goals. I mean, look at Cavani from PSG. I mean, he's not the best finisher in the world, but he gets himself exactly where he needs to be. Like when the ball's wide, when the ball's in the middle, wherever it is, he's always got an angle, and he's always finding a way to get to goal. Whether he finishes all the time is a different story that we can talk about, but he knows where to be. So get yourself in the right spot, do the right things, get back to basics, and then understand that like I said, the difference between being pistol hot and on fire, where it feels like no matter where you go, or where you strike the ball, you feel like you have a chance to score, towards when you're in a drought, you can be at the penalty spot and thinking, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to score this, even though I know I can pass the ball 12 yards into the corner. If you're a goal scorer, you've been there before. And you have to be mentally strong a little bit and believe in yourself and understand that, all right, I've gotten back to basics. I'm going to fight through this. Everything's going to be okay. So it brings me to a kind of another point. We talked about getting back to basics, understanding the mental component, but you also need to make sure that you're shooting, because what happens when there's the old saying, you miss 100% of the shots that you never take. And so you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're taking lots of chances, you're getting yourself in good spots, you're taking your chances, and you have to understand that it is a little bit of a numbers game. And once you find it once, you're going to find it time and time again. And so, prime example of this, let's talk about Jamie Vardy. In 2015-16, I mean, the guy literally could not miss. I mean, he was on fire, he was in the zone. He's still the same player this year. I mean, he's fast, he's gets himself in good areas, he makes well-timed runs. But he wasn't finding, he just wasn't finding the back of the net. And I'll tell you, what happens, especially with Vardy, if you watch him, as a goal scorer, he's always got his head down. It's kind of like, run and gun and, keep the shots on frame. There's not a ton of placement involved. And so when you find with goal scorers that they have a sixth sense for the goal and where the holes are and where the spots are, and so when you know where those spots are and you're finding them time and time, week in and week out in training sessions, it tends to show up for you. And when it goes missing a little bit, it's challenging. And what you're seeing with him is that here a couple of months have gone by, hasn't been able to get goals. And actually just broke that last week at Liverpool. But the point being is that it doesn't matter if you're a 10-year-old player, a 15-year-old player, or you were the leading scorer in the Premier League last year. No one's immune to it. And so just make sure you're doing the basic things, taking your shots. And the final point is, and this, I take this from Luis Suarez, because 2 or 3, everybody remembers Luis Suarez. I mean, he's for me, he's probably the greatest forward in the world right now. But when he first came to Barcelona, he was having a really, really hard time. He could not get goals. And I think when there's a big money move and you go from Liverpool, and he had like the whole biting thing at the World Cup, and you go to like a big club like Barcelona, there's a lot of pressure on you. And so I give him a ton of credit because he went to Barcelona, he wasn't getting goals, and so he said to himself, you know what, I can't get goals, but I can set other people up. And so what he started doing was, like, right away, he knew he wanted to contribute and he wanted to impact the games. And so he started setting up Messi and Neymar and like, you know, kind of using himself as a bait runner to kind of pull wide. And before you know it, he's setting those guys up, he's getting assists, and then he's getting his goals, and then now he's the one who's carrying the team. You know, when Neymar goes dark, when Messi gets himself injured, and him and Neymar and Suarez have to, you know, so it's like, it's finding different little ways to reinvent yourself so that you can still help your team. And whether you're the guy that gets the goals, or you're the guy that sets people up, or makes the run, or pulls a defender wide, whatever it is, you can still help impact the game. So just to sum up, I mean, understand that it's normal, right? Everybody goes through droughts. It doesn't make you a good player or a bad player. It just makes you a player, okay? The second part is get back to basics. Do the little things right. Time the runs right. The second part, believe in yourself. Understand that it's just a mental thing, that you're still the same guy last year that you are right now. It's just a mental switch that needs to flick on, and once you get a goal, you're going to get a second goal, and then you're running. And you're going to feel like you're on top of the world again. So just remember, you know, when things get high and you're hot, don't let them get too high. Keep them grounded. When they get too low, it's not as bad as it seems. And then the final thing is, you know, while you're going through that transition, when you're finding your rhythm, don't be afraid to, you know, make the other runs, to do the dirty work, to set other people up to get goals. That's going to make you feel better about yourself, make you contribute. It's going to boost your confidence, and then, you know, that'll also kind of keep you in the side while you're fixing your little finishing issues. All right, guys, enough talking. Get out there and train and score some goals, man. That's what it's all about. You guys have fun.